There is a profound sense of relief that comes when you stop being the unpaid lawyer for your own reputation and start being the CEO of your own energy. You spent years being confused by why people couldn't see the obvious good in your actions, but now you see that their blindness was often intentional. By refusing to engage in the why and the how of your personal boundaries, you have effectively taken away the only leverage a toxic person has over you. They rely on your need to be liked and your desire to be fair, using those noble qualities as hooks to keep you stuck in their drama. When you stop justifying your no or your not now, you are moving into a much larger role in your own life. You are no longer a participant in their theatrical dysfunction. You are a strategist who knows that the best move is often to simply walk away and let them talk to the wind. This isn't about being cold. It's about being precise with who gets access to your internal world and who is left outside the gate. The reality of your current situation is that you have become a point of stability in a very chaotic landscape, and the people who actually matter are starting to notice. They see that you didn't change your values to fit in, and that you didn't break under the pressure of being misunderstood for a season. This has placed you on a different shelf entirely, one where your presence carries a weight that doesn't need to be announced with a megaphone. You have successfully bypassed the usual struggles of being confused, or manipulated, because you are now operating in a realm where your character is your only currency. This elevation is permanent because it is based on the quiet work you did when nobody was clapping for you. You are the strategist who stayed grounded while everyone else was floating away in a cloud of their own ego and social performance. You don't need to be a mastermind to win. You just have to be the only person in the room who isn't lying to themselves about their own worth or their own motivations. Think about the mental clarity you have gained now that you aren't constantly trying to decode the hidden meanings behind everyone's passive, aggressive comments. That weight has been lifted off your shoulders, and you are free to explore the full extent of your potential without the anchor of other people's negative expectations. You have successfully navigated a landscape filled with manipulation and emerged as a person who is fundamentally unshakable. This is a royal level of victory because it wasn't won through aggression or noise, but through the silent accumulation of self-respect. You are a strategist of your own reality, and you have taught the world that trying to underestimate your intelligence is a very expensive mistake for them to make in the long run. This grounded sense of security is what allows you to move with such confidence now. You know that your foundation is solid because you built it yourself, brick by brick, while everyone else was busy tearing each other down. You have turned a moment of potential social isolation into a milestone of total self-improvement. Watching the social hierarchy reorganize itself in your absence is one of the most eye-opening parts of your personal growth journey. The people who were once so unified in their criticism of you are now finding that they have nothing in common besides the toxic habits they used to bond over. Without you there to act as the common enemy, they are forced to see each other's true colors, and they don't like what they see. This shift is permanent because once the trust is broken within a toxic group, it can never be truly repaired. They will always be wondering who is going to be the next person to be cast out. You stay grounded by focusing on your own path and not letting the news of their infighting draw you back into the mess. This experience has taught you that your value was never determined by their consensus, but by your ability to stay the course when the environment was hostile. You are the same relatable person you always were, but your armor is now reinforced by the knowledge that you can survive being the outcast. Most people spend their entire lives trying to be the loud voice that demands respect. But you've learned that the most powerful thing you can be is the quiet person that others feel a personal interest in protecting. The individuals who are currently bickering over how the dynamic changed so quickly are the ones who realized too late that you were never the easy target they thought you were. They are on alert now because they are afraid of the new standard of behavior that has been established in your circle. This independence is what makes you so respected by those who actually have substance. They see a person who can stand on their own 2 feet while still being humble enough to accept a helping hand from an ally. You stay classy by not engaging in the "I told you so" moments, even when the fallout of the intervention makes it obvious that you were right about the toxic elements all along. This is the ultimate form of self-mastery, knowing that you are vindicated by the results of your life, not by the words of your detractors. Ultimately, you have learned that the secret to being unshakable is to trust the reality of your own actions over the noise of other people's opinions. By staying grounded in your own truth and the classy way you handle your boundaries, you have created a version of yourself that is absolutely unshakable. They are in conflict because they realize they can no longer use your kindness against you. And that is a victory you should celebrate every single day of your life. It is a surreal and deeply grounding realization when you finally understand that the quiet, focused way you have been living your life has turned you into a point of interest for people you've never even met. For a long time, you probably assumed that as long as you weren't making a scene or begging for attention, you were essentially invisible to those operating at a higher level in your community or field. However, the reality of human behavior is that individuals with actual influence are always scanning for the things that cannot be faked, and your steady discipline has been broadcasting a signal they've been following for months. They aren't looking for the loudest person in the room. They are searching for the one who stays calm when everyone else is letting their emotions run the show. You've been operating under the radar, refining your skills and keeping your head down. But that level of self-mastery is so rare that it acts like a beacon for those who are used to managing chaos. They are observing how you handle pressure, how you treat people when you think nobody is watching, and the consistent way you hit your targets without making excuses. You have become a person of interest precisely because you aren't trying to be one, and that authentic quality is what makes them keep their focus on your trajectory. The psychology of this shift is fascinating because it proves that you don't always have to be on the front lines to win. In the past, you were probably the one who felt the need to address every single insult or manipulation directly, which only served to drain your battery and keep you trapped in the same cycle as the people trying to hurt you. Now, by moving with a certain level of stillness and focusing on your own path, you have reached a stage where your mere presence discourages bad behavior from others. Those who would usually try to play games are finding that there are gatekeepers between them and your attention. People who have seen your value and decided you are too important to be bothered by trivial things. This is a grounded form of social power that comes from genuine respect, not fear. You stay classy by doing the work, while the natural hierarchy of the group reorganizes itself to make sure you remain undisturbed in your pursuit of better things. It hit home when you realized that the peace you're enjoying is actually a collective effort from people who see you as a pillar of stability. When a person with real authority mentions your reputation in a room full of people who have been trying to undermine you, the effect is like a sudden shift in the Earth's gravity. Those who spent months whispering behind your back or trying to make you look like the problem are suddenly forced to confront the fact that they were completely wrong about your standing in the world. This isn't about some dramatic confrontation. It is about the quiet, heavy realization that the big dogs actually know who you are and value your contribution. The toxic group that once felt so unified in their disdain for you starts to fragment almost instantly. As individuals begin to worry about their own proximity to the truth, they realize that by attacking you, they were inadvertently attacking someone that the higher ups actually respect, and that fear causes their collective bond to dissolve into mutual suspicion. You didn't have to say a word to defend yourself. The mere fact that your character was validated by someone of consequence was enough to send the manipulators into a panicked retreat.